want to be the
Brian.
only one who doesn't. I am not that innocent. But you guys are just throwing out stuff that I haven't heard of.
Speaking of steamer just drops.
Just dropped.
Mm.
am
Uh,
I know
Gemma.
things, and it's just not coming out of my mouth. Can't. It will never. Not.
Then how is Ella gonna get educated?
Look it up on Google.
No, it's not quite.
Look what Gemma says.
I do. I don't mind knowing about anything. But part of the joy is that the stuff that no one wants to explain, the person who gets to explain it, it's going to be a classic. Trust me. Wait, what are the other ones? Because Joe keeps dropping them now. Wait, okay. Brian, you get to choose to explain one of the three. Wait, the Alabama Hot Pocket. There's a Kentucky Klondike and a Cleveland Steamer. Choose one. You're already up here.
Oh wait, I don't even know what a Kentucky Klondike is. That's one hell of a maneuver. That's really Klondike. What would you do with a Klondike bar?
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
So you don't know what that is, and you don't want to explain the Alabama Hot Pocket. So that leaves you one thing you can explain.
Joseph Burke spent some time in Kentucky, didn't he?
So that leaves you the third option, Mr. Ramirez. And I'm not even going to strain your voice by having you sing, because I know you've performed for 2 hours for all of us already, and we really enjoyed that. So your only obligation here tonight is to explain to me what a Cleveland Steamer is.
Oh, jeez, no, I can't even begin. No.
That's probably the most tame one.
Hot Pocket.
So, your choice. I always like to give people options. The Alabama Hot Pocket or the Cleveland Steamer. We have two now.
Okay.
You want to draw it?
Let's go Hot Pockets.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Laurie! If there are kids under how old?
No,
that's the worst.
Preschool teacher. I could do this PG-13 and have you understand.
See, and a professional educator in the house. What were you so scared about? Okay, now, all right, just speak to us as if we're a whole class of preschoolers.
Sure, I'm in the right frame of mind here. Let's see. All right, so imagine PuppyCat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Union break.
No, don't you dare.
Wait. I need PuppyCat. All right. PuppyCat's a boy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, PuppyCat has a crush on another puppy.
On a boy or girl?
A girl.
Okay. You're such a coward, Mr. Bickerson.
Okay. This PuppyCat was like, oh my god, other PuppyCat is so hot. Let me do my PuppyCat thing. And, then PuppyCat decides to get like a little freaky deaky, because you know how PuppyCat gets. PuppyCat gets like pellets. Like it's like little like reindeer pellets, like little like.
Yeah. Boom. And the Cocoa Puffs that he makes. Yeah, because he's overly excited. Yes.
Cocoa Puffs. So he's like, what are these Cocoa Puffs good for? Like, he's cuckoo for them, So he's like, he's cuckoo for them. So he's like, what could he imagine making her go cuckoo for his Cocoa Puffs?
So you're saying that PuppyCat's Cocoa Puffs is attractive to some girl bunnies
in particular ways, precisely.
But okay.
Yeehaw! I feel like this deserves phenomena.
All right. Okay, you earned it. You earned half of it. However, inquiring minds need to know. So now that Puppy has deposited said Cocoa Puffs all over,
Oh,
and
not
there's an attractive girl.
in a distinguished way. It is specific because when you wonder about the application of one's Cocoa Puffs, you would use your imagination in the best way possible. If someone were to enjoy them as much as possible, you would wonder how they would potentially utilize them. You know. Thanks for subscribing. For anyone who's in.
This is an educational channel, boys and girls. Oh, I'm so gonna get banned from all platforms for encouraging this. Hold on, you're still not crystal clear yet.
That's
Because
some hot. It's like
because I don't
right,
wait. Hold on, we're not done yet. So, PuppyCat has to deposit Cocoa Puffs somewhere.
Yes, and you're imagining it perfectly now. Thank you.
So it's gonna be somewhere
No.
on in the
In.
girl.
Mm,
Oh,
the
really?
puppy. The fucking puppy cat. Oh.
Seriously?
Sorry to see the hardest.
Oh my good! Wow.
No way to redeem from that conversation. What do I got? What do I
See us go. What my? This needs to be presented. Welcome, CS.
And the penny chat. Oh.
I'm glad you came. We seem to be dropping stuff tonight. I just didn't exactly need to know where. Oh boy! Well, see, I can handle it. I have not collapsed in a puddle of whatever. And Hannah, there is the, like the science was explaining why that should not happen. Thank you,
Hey
Hannah.
guys, I'm just getting
You
in. Just getting in for the
Coward.
night.
Coward. We'll see, Mr.
What are we
Bickerson.
talking about tonight?
We were talking about Alabama Hot Pockets. And Brian did finish explaining. Yes, and you were trying to leave the building. So since you're coming back into the building, would you like to explain the Kentucky thing?
Oh boy.
Well, since we started, might as well make this educational for all. Oh, Uncle Rick is here. Hello, Uncle Rick. We need to. I'm getting educated. I mean, in things that I might not want to know, but since someone has so skillfully applied a term to each of these, if someone has applied a term to it, then it needs to be defined.
Cocoa Puff cereal?
It is. But we have. Yes, I need it.
Oh shit.
Exactly. Who makes up these terms?
Good morning, Mineral Man.
Oh.
Welcome to the shit show.
Sorry.
That's
well, but
which?
But you throw it out there. I have to understand what this is. Now there are two more terms.
There's a wonderful tool at your disposal called Google.
No.
Hey, November, yay.
Too late for you to change the subject, Joe. started it. Mom, oh my gosh. No, don't. Oh my
Mom.
god. Mom, do not watch this. Mom, don't. Do not replay. Do not press go. Skip this whole entire episode. Just replay something else. Oh gosh. Just go to a porn site. Yes. That'll be much cleaner. But we have not used any inappropriate language. Mom is a big girl. She is, but probably should rather not handle this bunch of crazy folks. And just because you show a cute bunny on screen doesn't erase the rest of the stuff that's been going on. What was the other two? Kentucky what?
You really just won't drop it.
Well, Brian has already explained, what needed to be dropped and where. Can the next two be any worse?
I'll have to get back to the replay for that.
In expert fashion, Brian used no inappropriate language.
I just heard rabbits come out, and I was like, all right, well.
You think it's safe to come back in?
Y'all have fun with this one. I'm going to have a union break.
We're barely an hour in. We got at least 3 more hours to go. This. Well, it happens frequently here. We don't seem to have that downhill, that parking brake.
I'm
ever.
going to steam wash my body. All right, see yes. Sorry.
Extra soap.
Yes.
Well, you never know. You just never know what might happen. I need another drink. I need to start drinking, maybe. I can handle it better if I started drinking. But it's okay. We're used to it. Yeah, you're itchy now. Sorry, Sophie. Oh, Gemma needs to cleanse her house too. I'm so sorry. Check your IG messages. Oh, you have private messages from Joe. We were a classy show, but I'm still really proud of you, Brian. You explained it in an expert fashion without using any inappropriate language. God forbid a real preschooler ever come up to you and ask such a thing. What would you do if a young kid came up to you and asked and threw one of these? Like, my mom said this, but I don't know what it meant. Mr. Ramirez, can you explain that to me?
Yeah, there's been some pretty crazy things I've seen. Her principal of a preschool in Newark, It's
so
crazy.
tell us an example of stuff that made you uncomfortable that you have to explain it, and how did you get out of it?
So I think the weirdest experience I ever had was when I was teaching preschool in an affluent area in Morristown.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to be a teacher of this girl when she was 3 and when she was 5.
Uh-huh.
She had FAS, and when she was born, her father died, OD, and
Oh.
2 years after she was born, her mom OD. Her mother was an incredible woman, head of the hospital.
Uh-huh.
But felt guilty, real guilty, and this girl was going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I read people's palms too.
Oh.
So my grandmother taught me how to do that when I was real young, and it went from there, and it was a really an intuitive thing. I just look at someone's palm and you can know certain things. So when I looked at her palms, they were entirely crisscrossed. It was stunning to me. I was like, what the hell? It was.
You mean the young girl?
Yeah, she was.
Wow.
And it never changed from 3 to 5. And that was a experience I've had. She never said anything or like that to me, but like another girl, um, she she was I think she saw ghosts, something like that. She was it was crazy the things that she was.
Wow.
And I had another girl that had the same birthday as me, and she was pretty cool too. She was
Mm-hmm.
just a very intuitive person that could read other people at such a young age. I'm always baffled by how much the students that we have could teach us about ourselves and our perspective, and how refreshing it is to get a young person and a young mind who's like isn't like indelibly affected by the world and it's like bad karma in any way yet. It's like it could help in ways, I hope.
Good night, Gemma. Thank you for copping on.
Good night, Gemma.
Emma,
Sweet fluffy bunny dreams to you.
Fluffy Bunny.
So, would these children actually occasionally ask you stuff that you would rather not answer?
Sometimes there are things that I have to ask. Like sometimes they have burns or other things, but other times it'd be a situation like I'd see like an infant come out of a car that has like cigarette smoke all inside of it
Oh,
and like burns,
yikes.
and I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd call DIFUS right away,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd say like this is C, and then they would call DIFUS in response to calling, and I was like, yeah,
But
it,
since you're an educator, they would more
yeah,
likely take your word for it and come investigate?
no, no, they would
No?
have struck out. Yeah,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
they would just leave it blank, and the kids would all stay in the same place. So hopefully, people could get their upbringing.
Take
Mm-hmm.
care, Mineral Man. I guess
See ya, Mineral Man.
the Danes are fed.
Does that happen to you too, Tim?
Hater mineral man.
What's that?
In your daily work, do you see questionable situations that young children are in that you find that you need to contact child protective services?
Yeah,
And
It's common.
you probably never get pushed
it's not
back,
like
right?
an everyday thing, but it happens occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this is a interesting time for parents, of course. Even those parents that are normally, together and okay because of all the struggles that everyone has to face during the last 2 years, I can thoroughly understand why there would be more children at risk.
I have pretty young too, and it's something. But there's a lot of good things too. There's a lot of silver lining to this all. Like just going trick or treating with my son. It's been awesome. It's been
Yeah.
so much fun, and it's so different. Even when people are just there, they're more generous with their candy in the neighborhood. They leave everything out, and like
Mm-hmm.
someone's got boxes of fish and shit like that. And God no, fuck, they're gonna be up all night. They were, and they're that were worth it for them to be up. Like the jack o' lantern blaze that they saw, that was like a
That
great.
was amazing. It looked like you were going into like a tunnel that's filled with lit
They're
jack o'
great,
lanterns.
so cool. There was cars, dinosaurs, dragons, museums. There was
Wow,
windmill.
did you when you went home with the kids, how did you limit their candy intake?
When I went home with the kids, I think the first thing I had them do was spill out the candy, pick one,
Uh huh.
and then they could count it all and organize it, and they could stack them on each other, and then they decide like they got other things too. There's like Play-Doh in there and random,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were like, "All right, well, one more and one more and one more," and I was like, "Oh my god,
And
dude, oh
you're
my!"
said no more negotiations. That's it.
And yeah, Molly's saying there's couples that divorced, and I was divorced during the pandemic, so like that's why they're around their grandparents all the time. But they get spoiled around Gigi.
Yes.
His grandpa, and anything goes. So like I walk back where I come out of the restroom and they have lollipops, like 2 lollipops.
Oh my gosh. Tim, how did you stop your kids from inhaling the 8 pounds of candy they brought home?
Yeah.
It-
Did you have to stop
it-
them?
Oh, I ate it all. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Not really. When we got back home, because we went over to grandma's house to meet up with their cousins, and they trick or treat around that neighborhood. It was fairly late because we did pizza afterwards. So they had their fun there at grandma's, and they had 1 or 2 pieces more when they got home, and that was it. They were off to bed.
Oh, good. So you didn't have much trouble trying to control their candy intake. Shirley is a professional grandma. I know they live for spoiling grandchildren. That's the best thing, right? I mean, yes. My
Spoiling.
mom
Gigi
spoils PuppyCat.
keeps them up hecka late. It's like 11, like 12 every time. Story. The best stories though.
They
They go, one
there
more.
there is no such thing as bedtime at grandparents. I think they just get to play until they hit that wall and collapse and like flop over on the couch or something. I
Oh,
think every time Austin went to grandma's, I think he had to like stop himself at some point.
I remember going to Blockbuster with my grandfather, and it was Halloween, and we rented The Fly, I think.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty scary. How old were you?
I was like 6.
Oh my goodness, did that haunt you forever?
No, it was cool. I was like, damn, cool. Like he let me watch this shit. And, like my parents freak out. Like it was chill. And you know I could like be like, whoa, what was that? Freaky flesh falling off. Like
Oh, so it's enjoyable for you to see Nicolas Cage turn into a fly. Hmm. That explains a few things about you, Mr. Ramirez.
I like science. I mean, I like that show Dexter. No,
That is
Dexter.
cool.
Is that still
Oh,
on?
I heard that it's coming back.
Oh, it's not.
oh.
Oh, that's right. It was only on for like 2 seasons, wasn't it? And it got canceled or something.
I'm
I
not.
Is that the?
only remember the billboard of a man carrying a baby that's like there's blood on the baby or something like that. I never saw it. Was it good?
I never saw that billboard, but yeah, it was
Mm-mm.
pretty. That was for a bit. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Was it gory?
Pretty good show because it was twisted in a way that you got a guy that was doing a very good thing with a methodical, um, like serial killer context. So like you could
Mm-hmm.
appreciate, like if you like CSI and Law and Order, it's like up that alley, and also if you like serial killer like horror things, also up that thing. So it's like weird, but it's,
Aw, Shirley's kids. You absolutely love Dexter. Okay, then maybe I gotta watch it. If sure thinks Dexter's cool, then I need another series to binge on because I really don't know what to watch.
that's the thing.
Tim, were you fond of like monster and scary movies when you were a kid?
Yeah. Um, I definitely found them more scary than I do now. Like, there's not a whole lot that they're
And
putting
did
out
your
there anymore.
parents
That
were your parents okay with letting you watch it?
as long as it wasn't like rated R, or, you know,
Mm.
when I was young, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't watching any rated R stuff, but um, you know, I don't think any of the are the Halloween movies rated R. They're PG-13, aren't they?
No, like Halloween is R,
Is it?
I think.
Well, maybe now, but back then was it?
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I was
Now I
never.
can't remember.
You
There's
got
less.
scared with Goonies.
Goonies, awesome.
But now you're part of law enforcement, so you gotta not be scared of much now. My parents never really like censored or prevented us from watching anything. Either they didn't care or didn't think we'll be affected. So we just kind of like. I think when I was younger, I was more okay with it. I'll just watch anything and not be freaked out. But the older I get, the more I just say, you know what, I'd rather not. I just don't find that enjoyable. But nonfiction, though, I'll watch all the gore on Earth. If it's like part of a documentary, or I tune into things like Ask a Mortician because it's all real. If I know it's real, I will get into it. Like the made up stuff, not so much. Do you guys believe in the paranormal?
I think that when it's like it's non-fiction, it's like a little bit more easy for me to engage. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like context that I could apply to my life, and so I like watching documentaries and like historical things and like science stuff, nature stuff. A lot of
Yep.
the time, like if it's a fantasy thing, father totally embellished on that, and he had my imagination wild. He would read me stories that he'd write every night, you know. So when it come down to things like my family would enjoy, it'd be the Renaissance fair. So yeah, you know, Game of Thrones, things like that, or like even like The Hobbit, or Lord of the Rings, or Willow. Shows like sci-fi shows about space. I liked that stuff because it had my imagination spinning. And one thing that as an educator that I enjoyed was that when you think about the inspirations that we have in physics and you know anything that we can see in the science fields, it's a lot of stirred up even by that imagination, you know, and that like that cultivation of like, yeah, well, what if like maybe that could happen.
Mm-hmm. So, audience members too, tell me about like the best nonfiction show or series that you've ever seen, because I need more on my list. There's usually so much out there. Whenever I start surfing, next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. and I'm tired from just surfing and just reading descriptions and never actually start watching anything. You've almost Minecraft. It's great. How about you, Timmy? What is the best nonfiction you've ever seen, or some of your favorites,
The best nonfiction.
or
Pictures?
anything? TV show,
Oh, then you got, I
movie,
mean, just
documentary.
any documentaries, man. With Brian there, I get sucked into those, especially like murder docs,
Yes.
the whodunits, I like the ones where they, you know, present, what happened and some of the evidence, and you're trying to figure out who the killer is before,
Mm-hmm.
the show ends and they tell you,
Right, the Smithsonian Channel. Yes, seen a lot of that, and I was telling Tim the other day. I used to watch a series that my niece and nephew turned me on to, and I'd watch it with very young Austin because they went to the channel is called Vsauce. I don't know if they're as popular now as like it was 10 years or so ago, but they talk about all aspects of anything actually: science, the metaphysical, the spiritual, human emotions. And I remember this one episode because it's so easily relatable. They were trying to explain the concept of, how all of us, we go through the course of the day, and let's say if I have a presentation, I totally stuck my foot in my mouth, I would replay it all day, right? Like at dinner, I'll say, "Oh my god, I effed up that," and then at night before I go to sleep, I still replay it. Like, everyone must have seen it. I'm so forever mortified. Forever, I will never be able to face any of those like 50 people in the conference room anymore because I totally effed it up. There was an episode of Vsauce where they disproved that completely. That if you ever make a blunder in any public situation, we always think people would focus on it so much more, like thousands of times more than what the other people actually think of you. They proved that in one of those shows, and that was like, I don't actually remember the numbers, but that show was so good because all of us do that, and all of us think, "Oh God, I said that. Now everyone hates me," or "I screwed up that project. Now everyone," or I called Brian by the name Shirley. Now he's forever gonna hate me, and everyone in the audience is gonna think I'm an idiot because I can't even tell the difference between Brian and Shirley.
Now,
So
as a musician, it's funny because we could think about that too, and like making big mistakes in front of people, and like I could sing another verse over again sometimes, and I'll be like, "Oh Jesus," and I have to commit to it, and it's painful, painful. I'm sure you can relate to some things, Ella, too, but like in contrast to Tim, it pales in comparison because our job as a musician would be like nothing compared to like
life and death.
life in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think of soldiers like that. So like, and yeah, like police officers, like, oh well, that's a serious decision making process. So like, I just when you think about that, and I hate people looking over my shoulder. Like that's the worst feeling ever. As a student, as a teacher, as a musician, if you have other musician in the room that that's especially like more skilled than you are, it's like, oh God, I don't know if I'm playing it right or like at the aptitude. But
Yep.
like when you're learning or you're training, I can't imagine
We
what
were
it's.
just talking about that yesterday. I think I told Tim I can't play the piano in front of Piano Man, and I can't sing in front of Olivia. Not because they're not the kindest, most supportive people on earth. It's just that it's me. I feel like so inferior, and that fear will make me make mistakes, even though I normally don't. So I know I'll come in worse than I usually am, and it does make you nervous, right? Because you're around people you admire, or that they're so much more experienced and skilled. But that's normal, though, isn't it?
My whole thing though with like I told you what I thought about playing piano in front of Wilson is, you're going up against Mozart. I mean, he's got 9 degrees on the piano, so you're you take that into account. But at the same time, when have you ever known Wilson to
I know, like
ever
point
look
his
down
nose
on
up.
anybody, or yeah, or come off with that I'm better than you
Positive.
Mm-hmm.
attitude?
Yep. Like Brian would never say, "Oh my God, Ella, I told you not to do that," but yet you still squeaked or squawked.
No, no.
Even though I know the truth, and that's a logical thing, it's like phobias. It need not be logical. Your mind tells you one thing, but your emotions might tell you another.
Yeah, funny human nature.
Yeah, and that part kind of sucked. It's not in his DNA, right?
When I was much, much younger, I think that visceral response happens when I'm trying unfamiliar foods
Hi,
too.
Des.
Hey,
Hi,
that
Des.
bunny.
Try, trying unfamiliar what?
Foods. Like the first
Foods.
time I had abalone,
Uh
the
huh.
first like because I grew up with my cousins who were from Hong Kong and also mainland China. So
Oh,
they had an
my
array,
homeland. Yeah.
so many different things I was introduced to. And one of my favorite things was, I don't know, it was like a tea that was with like sugar balls in it for like a dessert. I was like, oh my
Oh, boba.
God. Uh, I don't know. It was like so small though. It was years
Bubble
ago,
tea.
like over 30,
Oh.
but um,
Oh.
I'm only 21. But I tried like so many different things from like duck. That
Mm-hmm. Were you in Hong Kong, or did they introduce you to the foods here?
no, they introduced a lot of the foods to me,
Mm-hmm.
but kept an open mind. Tried a lot of different things in my life.
And that's cool. I mean, I always, well, almost always subscribe to the thought that don't knock it until you try it. But then there are some things that I won't, like skydiving. That ain't ever gonna be for me.
Well, don't knock it until you try it.
No, because if I try that, I might be dead. So That's when I draw the line. If trying something is going to cause me, like, has the probability of causing me severe harm, and I don't like it, what was the craziest thing you tried? Tim, first.
Craziest thing I've tried, like to eat. We're talking to eat.
Des,
Or anything. Anything.
Go ahead, Brian.
sorry, I was
That's all right.
telling her that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Craziest things. Anyone, you guys go. Audience members too. Please let me know the craziest thing you tried. Food or experience.
I don't like uni. I tried that. I don't like that.
That is like the raw sea urchin. Is that?
Raw sea urchin.
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing I had to try to eat was the deer heart.
Oh, was it one of those times when you said like you have neighbors or friends who hunt and then you'll help them like do the cutting and butchering and all that?
Yeah. But it was also one of those times where somebody said it tastes like chicken, and it actually did taste like chicken.
Wait, how did people offer you the heart of a deer? Was it raw? Was it cooked? Well,
apparently they eat it a lot.
like, wait, were they cooking it? I mean, and say, here, have a bite?
Right up. They pan fried it right on the stove. Little olive oil.
Uh-huh.
That was it.
Did you taste it? You did try it.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? Was it like chicken?
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
Was it
But it would
dark?
it would definitely probably go down as one of the craziest things.
Was it like dark meat or was it like chicken breast?
It looked like chicken thigh when it was chopped up. You know, like that dark meat.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I had that face because I've tried, pork and chicken and, all those other gutty things. Gutty things. Wait, I'm trying to read comments. Oh my god, Molly, did you actually skydive? You beat yourself jumping out of a plane. Oh my gosh. When did you do that? And who convinced you? I want to know.
We're told to bring a change.
Or did it just push you out? We were told to bring a change of pants. That's classic. So they know that there's a high probability that people would pee their pants. Liver and onions. I have not tried the American liver and onions, but Chinese cuisine,
liver and onions isn't bad.
My people, the culture, we waste no parts. If an animal sacrificed their life for you, you're going to make good use of it. They're not going to like perish in vain and have like parts of it like thrown out.
Sure.
Trying
to think of like the craziest action.
Yes. Have you ever jumped out of a plane?
No, I want to.
Oh, your audio is cutting out a bit.
Oh,
Brian.
My bad.
No worries. Oh, did it again. Like you would go and then you would drop a few seconds and then you come back up.
Well, I was saying I went skydiving.
You did? When was this?
Maybe about 11 years ago.
And have you always wanted to do it or somebody convinced you to do it?
I didn't want to do it. The ex that I was at the time, she was crazy.
What?
She's
crazy. She's an adrenaline junkie? Is that how you would describe
it? She convinced me to do it. She really wanted to go up there. And she was like, jump with me. So somehow she managed to convince the pilots to also let her fly the plane.
That is scarier than jumping off with a parachute.
Well, we all have parachutes. What the hell? How about it?
Oh my god.
And it wasn't as risky as it seems. In this plane, there's actually 2 steering wheels. The pilot has one and the co-pilot has one.
Okay, it's like the old school driving the cars for learners.
So she able to like actually move it. I felt the plane move while she was moving.
Did you yell at her, give it back to the pilot already? Okay, stop. That's 5 full seconds. Go.
I wanted to be like, she's crazy. But like,
So who
Aren't you
jumped
nuts?
first?
instead,
I know.
let's go. No,
Were you just terrified? I mean, were you scared on the way up? Who jumped first?
I was like one of the first couple of like maybe one of the first three to go. She was one of the last since she was flying, and I remember being like, "Wow, this is cold. It's cold."
It's cold.
And I was like, "This is I hate being cold." So I was like, "Oh fuck, it's uncomfortable."
Wait, were you?
And
Did
I
you
was
jump by yourself, or was there somebody attached to you? Because in the
weird, hairy Italian guy strapped to me, like Simone was strapped to me. Like he reeked.
that's hilarious.
Great. He was just it was horrible.
It was horrible.
None
Might
of
have
them
been. I mean, it might have been fun for me to be strapped to a maybe not the hairy puppet Italian guy, but for you it wasn't.
there was a streak in the sky, I'm sure. like like land comet. It, it was epic. He did this for a living, proudly, and there as a bystander. And I witnessed this. And he pulled the strap with music. Pull it, and I was like, all right. So
What?
and he was smooth. He was a smooth deployment, and I was like, all right, dude, that's cool. He's like, all right, pretend like you're sitting, and like there's a little like a hammock or something that they have like fabric that you could actually like kind of sit on. So you're just like sitting in a parachute.
So on the way down. So was it a gentle? How was the landing?
It was so crazy to land though. You have to prepare to like run and sprint like full force. He's like, go, just run. Keep your legs moving. Keep your legs moving. I don't care if you're in the air. Keep your legs.
Wow, I had no idea. Just so that you don't go plunk. Is that why?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I've never. I think it's possible to like land like straight down without getting hurt. But I don't know. I guess sometimes like I guess he was probably like get like a trajectory right to make it smooth sailing, right?
So would you do it again?
No. Never. I don't like roller coasters. I don't like skydiving.
How long did it take from the time that you were like shoved off the plane to when you land? How many was it like a minute? Was it half a minute?
Like no.
Longer than that.
Really?
Probably like 20 minutes. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because ending like from when you fall at 20,000, I think, or like whatever it is, then you have to pull it at like a certain altitude. I can't remember, so I'm not gonna even pretend to.
Yeah.
That's like a really short amount of time. Maybe that's like 2 or 3 minutes. Like,
And then the rest of it because you're floating.
Yeah,
you're slowed down by the parachute that much. Okay.
And maybe even exaggerating by saying 2 or 3 minutes. It's got to be like a really quick descent. But once you pull that parachute, it's like super slow, and it's great because you can appreciate this view. I think I saw like 3 or 4 states from where I was, and I'm jealous that they were in Hawaii and got to do something like that. Just
wow. I had no idea that was that long. I thought maybe like 5 minutes tops and then it's done. But wow. So did you get over being like terrified?
Yes. After that, I was like, oh, it was worth it. It's when you dive into cold water and you're like, I got it over with, But like, I would rather be in a helicopter in the Grand Canyon or on the Skywalk than.
I can't do any of that. My knees would buckle. There's no way. And there would not be enough depends to keep me from contaminating all the environments that I'm in. So Tim, you're not afraid of? I mean, you're not fond of heights either, or is it something else about jumping out of a plane that you don't like?
Oh, I said I want to do it.
Oh, you want to do? Oh, okay. Then you're consistently as crazy as I think you are. Helicopters? Do you mind? Do you guys mind helicopters?
What's wrong with helicopters?
I don't mind helicopters. Tim, would you be a fire jumper?
A fire jumper?
What is that?
Guys
Like
on the
somebody-
west typically go into the forest fires from helicopters and are responsible for like cutting off those big fires. Like really?
No, probably not, because I hate mountain fires and
Okay.
wildfires. Yeah, it's not a afraid thing. It's more of a those fires suck. They're just a
Yeah.
pain in the ass.
And they're so
And
uncontrollable.
that's just here in Maryland. Like I can't imagine
Oh,
they're jumping roads out there. You know, like you can't
Have
get
you-
ahead of them,
over there in Maryland?
huh?
Have you had to deal with them frequently over there in Maryland?
Every now and again, yeah, during the summertime, and people go out camping and stuff. Yeah, it's nothing like out in California and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
it would get
small potatoes.
crazy out here, and how fast they would burn. And there was one that's close to UC Santa Barbara, where Austin is, and I didn't know. He goes, "Yeah, it's kind of smoky today," and I go, "What? Yesterday I didn't. I mean, there were just fires around Northern California, around LA, but I didn't know it was around Santa Barbara." I go, "Yeah, Mom, I could actually see it, but luckily they got it controlled." But that day they all stayed indoors. So those things are crazy. It freaks me out. Thank goodness it started raining. I'm trying to read the comments as like some of the craziest things that our audience members have done or tried. I saw a rattlesnake. Who ate a rattlesnake?
Crazy.
Somebody ate
Who-
around.
I never ate a rattlesnake. That's
I think I have tried. Hello, Captain. I'm trying to go back because there are like quite a few comments here.
Ahoy, Captain!
Ahoy! Honest DNA. Watching the show. Molly said she wet her pants, and I would like not only wet. Trying to eat a rattlesnake. Oh, cousin Shirley Bickerson ate rattlesnake. That I had to learn it for a job. That and rappelling from a helicopter. Okay,
wow. Repelling from a helicopter.
Molly, no,
Jeez.
I will just instantly. No.
Molly's a beast.
I know you're crazy.
Impressive.
Yeah, top of the list for Shirley. Cousin Shirley Bickerson, snorkeling in the middle of the ocean, and she didn't even know how to swim. What? They let you do that? Now that is badass. I don't swim, and I will not go into water higher than like my waist because I'm pretty convinced I'll be swept away. Did you do it in Hawaii, Shirley? Scuba diving. Des wants to go bungee jumping. That's pretty scary too. Would you guys do bungee jumping, you two?
I think a little bit about whiplash there.
Yeah.
You would or you wouldn't, Tim?
I don't know. Like that one's never really jumped out at me. That's something. I'd rather jump out of a plane.
And what about those cliff divers? I mean, those people are.
That's nuts, especially when they hit that water. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, and the rocks. I mean, it's not like there is no chance of them like drifting a little too close to said cliff and just smack their heads against a sharp rock.
I only did it once, so I got really, really scared. But it was all right.
Where did you do it? Where were you?
It was in Vermont, at like the bottom of a mountain that had like a really like a narrow river. It wasn't super big, but it was a steep drop, maybe like 18 feet. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Of all places, I don't think I would have ever guessed Vermont.
Yeah. Wow. Is it like a spot for cliff jumping?
No. Just,
Oh.
we were there. A lot of people. It was like crowds of people just doing it over and over again.
Were you with your friends and you thought, heck, I'm going to try it?
So I was with like 12 other people, and I was like, oh
Mhm.
well, I guess it's safe enough. Like it's been successful.
The other 12 people didn't die yet, so it must be good.
Yeah, deep water, it's easy, but like for sure it was like slippery around there too. So
Yeah. I mean, when you hit the water, did it hurt?
I don't like situations like that. So I'm a punk, and I'm like, damn, this is uncomfortable, but at least it made me feel cool. No, like I mean,
And that's important. Death, not so much. But oh, see, look at Des. She put in the comment. She says, in case those of you don't already know, craziest thing that she's ever done. She was a stripper. That is very cool. Taste. Oh, rattlesnake tasted awful. Surely. Where did you eat a rattlesnake? I mean, who served it? Were you in a restaurant? I've had snake. I've had snake soup. That's
it's
like a Chinese thing.
wow.
Not a
I
huge deal.
like salty.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like particularly memorable. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's so good, I want it again. Or it wasn't like, it's so disgusting, I never want to go near it. It's just meh. So why do I need to eat the snake when it's like, meh? I'd rather have a good fresh bunny food salad. You
There you
wouldn't,
go.
Lindy wouldn't go bungee jumping either.
Bunny food salad.
Yeah, bunny food. I eat rabbit food a lot. You were friends. Molly was with friends when she dove. Normally, you're not allowed to unless you can swim. Oh my gosh.
Moose.
Oh, Captain. Captain says, Ella, have you ever watched cliff diving fail videos?
That's fucking awesome.
If they live to tell about it, maybe.
Thanks, Captain. I'm gonna be up late tonight.
Well, I'll be like on YouTube finding those. Do they live to tell about it, Captain?
It's too funny.
I'm kind of concerned. I mean, usually they don't actually show the ones where they don't live to tell about it.
Yeah.
But I'd rather hear it from you first before I go like wandering into YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Who on earth would anyone want like who would want to eat a rattlesnake? In Hong Kong, there are many snake restaurants. There's like a district where there are many snake shops. Where in Chinese medicine, people would like have a snake heart shot or the bile from their liver. They would down it like a shot, and the people tout their medicinal qualities. I don't really know. Like my mom, not my mom, my aunt had like so many various forms of reproductive cancers when she was alive. She tried anything. I don't know. They were. I mean, it's literally snake oils. If
Yeah.
you believe it, I think it might.
Literally, yeah, but the placebo effect is pretty damn strong, right?
Yeah, I mean, literal snake oils. And what would scare me is that I'm not fond. I mean, it's not abnormal, but I'm not fond of snakes. But like, I remember walking around in Hong Kong with my mom or my relatives. I wouldn't know when I walk by one of those shops, and I'll look at them and go, "Oh my god, no!"
Oh my
It is just
god!
like
Wait a second. You and Captain Rehab just came up with something fucking amazing.
what?
Why don't we do that on
You
here?
would no.
Why don't we back there on Habs?
Fear factor, yes. I mean, not anything so crazy. Well, you know what? I already make Beardo and Weirdo do a lot of stuff. I mean, eating. I mean, I've made both of them so well. I'm not proud of it. I didn't mean to go that far.
Huh?
Yeah, I have. I mean, not proud of it. One time, Wilson was at his parents' house,
Okay.
and he ran to the bathroom, which is unfortunately right next to his mom's bedroom. So she came out to see what on earth I have done with his dear son. that made him throw up in the middle of the night. I was not proud.
Now you two play nice.
Who are you? Who? Wait.
What?
Oh, are you saying? I thought Wilson's mom would like ban me from appearing on his shows forever. And then another time Blaine did it. I mean, neither one of those were like the really challenging stuff that I sent them.
I think Piano Man's was, if I remember correctly.
No, it wasn't. It was just a dry little fishy.
Was it?
Yep.
Like romantic walks down the wine aisle. I love it. This.
How did we make that transition?
I had to read it.
You would pay to watch on Fear Factor. Yeah, that I mean, no, I'm not good with like they do a lot of reptiles, and that's gross. Like worms, reptiles, insects, and heights. You know what? I'm out. No, I'm afraid of heights. I don't like reptiles. I can probably eat anything, but that's only like a quarter of it. Did you guys ever watch Fear Factor?
Yeah.
Awesome show. I loved watching that with Austin when he was growing up.
Nice. Cool show.
Fear is not a factor.
Yeah. Yep. It's always enjoyable when they like dunk somebody in a tank and then pour the snakes or the tarantulas in. Does cringe with them eating hissing cockroaches.
Ooh, eating
Hissing
things.
cockroaches.
I didn't know. I didn't know cockroaches.
Hell no.
You guys rather eat a live hissing cockroach or a cooked tarantula?
Cooked tarantula any day.
None of them.
No, you can't pick.
You can't pick?
You have to save your life by eating one of those.
I don't have to eat that garbage.
Yes, you do. You don't even have to be on this show, but you are, so play along. Pick one. Chickens, Shirley says. No, there are no chickens around anymore.
I'll do the cockroach. Tarantulas are awful fucking big.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
But they're cooked.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, into that, like their legs are supposed to be like crab meat or something.
Oh, yum. But no.
Yeah.
Imagine crunching on a shell of a cockroach while it's screaming at you and legs moving around your mouth. Yes.
Eat the head first.
And then the guts are spewing out at you too.
Just pop the whole thing.
Liquid, like not. Oof.
No, the guts are spewing.
It's one bite. A tarantula could potentially be 4 or 5 bites.
Oh.
But
I'll go with the one bite.
It's still cooked.
Or you could just pop it in your mouth and try and whack it down with a cola.
No, really?
No
way.
No. Oh, Des says she likes spiders. You can't eat them. Okay, then you're stuck with a hissing cockroach. Nice knowing you, Shirley says. Let me die. I have an idea. Let's have Tim try those. Yes.
Vodka.
I think the most disgusting thing I can tell you guys that I have eaten, and it's actually no big deal in my culture. You can probably find it in dim sum restaurants and authentic like Cantonese restaurants in the States. And that is, and I didn't use the wrong verb, I have eaten pig's blood.
Was it thick, clotty?
No, if you, I don't know how exactly they make it, but it coagulates.
Yeah.
Okay.
It coagulates into the texture of tofu. So it's not slimy, it's not gross. Just imagine like medium. It's not firm tofu, it's not soft tofu, it's somewhere in between.
All right, that's very different from what I was imagining like morcilla, like the blood sausage that I've had in Spain.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not. I mean, that sounds actually more disgusting than pig blood. But just imagine it's like a maroon colored. They cut it into little cubes and then they stir fry it with
Eat that.
leeks and sauce. So it's
Oh, with leeks. Dude, I like leeks.
yeah. I mean, this is more disgusting. When done correctly, it is really good. And my people honestly don't waste any parts. Would make big blood sausage. Yeah, I haven't. Have I had? I think I have. And it just tastes kind of like livery, right?
Iron.
Yeah,
Livery. It
livery.
tastes livery.
Mom liked them. It's gross. Pigs are a lot like humans. Yes, we are pigs. Okra is Beardo and Weirdo can have. What about slugs? Okay, that's pretty gross.
Uncle Tim, God bless the USA and our barbecue. You're right.
Slugs. Will you sign up for eating a slug?
Um, God, does any culture eat slug? No.
Snails. Do the French eat
Sorry,
slugs like without the shell?
I guess
Slugs don't have shells.
What? Yeah, I mean, I know
slug-
slugs don't have, but then a snail is just like a slug with a shell, aren't they? Hi, Jeeves. We're talking about icky
Jeeves.
things that you might have eaten, so I bet Jeeves has some good ones. A lot of slugs are. I did not know that. Are poisonous to eat.
crazy. That's awesome that you know that.
Yeah, escargot is meh. It's like eating farts.
Think fart. God, that
No, if you have it in like high
No.
end French restaurant or at a beachside um tropical town, Asian town, they would stir fry like fresh sea snails and such, and they're
Oh, Jeremy made it
amazing.
home.
Yay! Hi, Jeremy. Thank you for checking in. We're
That's a
just
lot of
talking about
driving.
some of the grossest, most disgusting things that you've ever eaten, like personally, because I'm going to ask you for the details.
So in Spain, I went to this restaurant that was like tomato soup and it had like noodles and stuff. But when I did my spoon in it,
That
it was
sounds good.
baby eels. The noodles.
They would wait. They're
Whole
moving.
whole
Baby.
cooked baby eels in a
Oh.
cold.
How big is
That's
baby eel?
not cool.
They were like, all right, so you see the little wrap from my Stella, like around the bottle
Yeah.
cap,
Uh-huh.
like maybe let's rip it in half, like half that length, like that's the eel.
Oh, you don't even have to chew. Down the hatch.
And
But
they
they're
were noodle texture. So
Yeah.
I ate, and it was on the food show too, with like Anthony Bourdain or whatever. I don't remember, but I thought it was freaky as hell. They're gray, their gills and their eyes, and you got to think about like eating everything, and it's just if you think about it too much, you don't want to, you know.
where was this?
This was in Spain, in Madrid.
And there are no like bones or anything.
It was just soft. It felt like a noodle.
That's kind of disturbing. Kind of.
I ate eel poop. Yes, I ate eel brain and
Eel
lots of eel. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
My cousin Shirley Bickerson said my dad used to eat possum.
Possum? Yeah. Well, that's not
Have
like
you?
I have not, but that's not outside of the realm of something, that's
People would
weird.
eat.
Yeah, I mean
I
it seems like I've heard of it a lot more.
like roadkill.
Like
I
Well,
think
hopefully not.
Molly hates fish.
Or two. Breathe.
South American barbecue guinea pig. What? You're just making that up.
Nope. Ex-wife was Peruvian. Her family ordered guinea pig.
No. Oh, the cute little girl. No.
I couldn't stand it.
How? I mean, they're so little. What is there to eat?
Nothing. It's not worth it. I think it's like, I don't know. It's weird.
I probably shouldn't ask, but I am going to because I love asking questions. How was it cooked? Like the whole thing, or they chopped up?
Rotisserie style over a fire.
Stop.
Pressed. It was pressed down. They had it.
Oh, kind of like pressed duck, but smaller.
So they fried.
But the bones and stuff are still in there, though, right? So there must be not that much meat to eat.
There's very little meat, and they didn't do anything with it. They didn't put it with rice. They didn't do it with any dish. They just served animal. That's the thing about I don't know. I just couldn't. I had a guinea pig. His name. He had a mohawk that was white, and his body was black.
No. Wait, that's not true. You're just embellishing that story now. Oh my god. Good night, Jeremy.
Good night, Jeremy.
Oh my gosh. That is your audio is still like going this. Are you doing something different with your audio, Brian? I've never heard you like this before. Like you go up and then you cut off and then you be back. Is your setup any different?
I'm sorry. I'm actually going to invest in another computer soon, so I hope that'll alleviate all this stuff. But it's been happening, I think, right? So.
I mean, your singing was fine earlier because we were in your show like the bulk of the time. We didn't hear you. I mean, your singing wasn't like that, right, Tim?
No, I didn't hear anything.
It's just like right now. So I thought maybe you're using a different mic or different phone or something that might be cutting out on you. But since you performed, that's why I wanted to call it out so you're aware.
Maybe it's if I'm like blasting it full out. I hope that it's like just like a condenser in my phone or something.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Oh no, Shirley's dad ate a wild rabbit.
Oh, shoot.
But that's, I mean, even though it is slightly upsetting, but I know people do it.
Oh my God, Fava Bean. Yeah, Paul. Awesome quote.
He goes in and out when someone else is talking to. Yeah, right? There's something different with your mic or something. He ate everything and mom ate little of nothing. What did your mom eat then, Shirley, while your dad was feasting on possum and wild rabbit and stuff? I would try almost anything when I'm in Hong Kong and China. Almost. I mean, if it didn't have a slimy texture, I think I'd be okay with it. Not live stuff. And don't really enjoy a lot of sashimi. The only thing I could learn to eat was salmon. What were you saying, Tim? Do you like sushi? Huh?
Who is sashimi?
Who is sashimi? And why did I eat her? No, it's sushi. I mean, like the parts that don't come with a wad of rice, the raw stuff is called sashimi. Like, once they cut it up and put it in a little thing of rice, that's sushi.
Yum.
Yeah. Do you like it, Tim? Do you like raw?
I don't know what the hell it is.
Raw fish,
I've
like
never had
tuna.
Well, sushi I've had,
but not raw stuff on your sushi.
Not the other word I can't say.
No, I mean like
sashimi.
Sashimi. There's sa and then she and then me.
Yeah.
Some of them have like wrapping around.
Fuck me.
Excuse me, but now this.
Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana.
That deserved the whole entire.
And now this.
verse, of course. That is
Oh,
all the
God.
same. I just said. Oh, Brian hasn't seen this. Tim.
Huh.
Millions of eyes
Uh-huh.
can see. Oh, Captain is asking for the other clip.
It's not loaded up, Cap.
Is it in my phone? Did you ever send those to me? I can't remember which ones you sent to me.
That one takes forever to load.
Oh, because it's like 8 minutes long. You and your blooper reels, you gotta cut them down. Because people occasionally would get tired of watching a reel that long.
I don't know. They always ask for them.
What? Tell me he did not say. He couldn't say sashimi.
Say go fuck me.
It's not like, that Disney.
Blech.
It's not like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's sashimi. She. Me.
It's awesome. Paul.
Me.
Yeah, it's sa, and then she, and then me.
Sa, and then she,
She,
and then me.
Me. Sa, she, me. You
Sa,
got it.
She,
me. Mhm.
Sa, fuck me.
But now this.
Mana mana. Mana mana.
Oh my gosh. Do you like, okay, you can't like it. Sake though. Like sake is another thing that's like heated up rubbing alcohol. Does anybody enjoy that?
I like
Can
sake.
can you catch a buzz?
Yes. Because
Then I
if
would
you
have loved
drink,
it.
but it's hot though.
I don't give a shit.
And it smells like rubbing alcohol.
It's good.
It's good.
The hotter it is, the quicker it gets into your system. It's yummy.
The quicker it gets into your system, would it give you a quicker buzz?
Yeah, for sure. But no, I think nigori is my favorite sake. Yeah, it's so good.
Oh my goodness.
So
Going
yummy.
out in Hong Kong to eat with my brother or any of his friends, they'll always tell me, Ella, this is different. They'll always try to get me to drink. Like every single meal. Try this, Ella. This is different. This is going down so smooth and you're going to love it. I'm like, how many decades have you known me? And when have I ever said, oh, you know what? You're right. This is different. I love it. Give me more. It doesn't matter. I mean, people who are sensitive to the taste of alcohol,
Yeah,
it's gross. It's
Yeah.
just rubbing alcohol. It's like NyQuil.
NyQuil. That. Profound effect, though.
Yeah.
Cantaloupe, my cousin, fell right asleep. Just one night, she just knocked right in bed, and it was just a cantaloupe. It's old. and she just,
Fermented cantaloupe?
that was it. That's all that it took for her to like
Fermented cantaloupe.
not be there at the party.
I ask guys if they want sake and they think of something on a different level. Japanese scotch. No. That's why you put juices and soda on it. Yeah, I understand that. I have tried, but it still doesn't mask it completely. So then I think I'm wasting it. I mean, people play, especially like the good stuff, people try to get me to try. It's always like crazy expensive. And I go, there'll be high-end restaurants and they'll start pouring. I go, no. I mean this much because I guarantee it will be wasted. Do not waste stuff on me if people are paying high dollars for supposedly good stuff and I think it's vomit. Don't give it to me.
Good stuff.
Listen, guys, I gotta probably hit the sack because it's 3 a.m.
Oh yeah, it is, dude. Thank you so much for coming up and just shooting the breeze with us.
Shooting the old breeze.
Me. And speaking of alcohol and stuff like that, I had just this past weekend a 5-year aged bottle of wine.
Oh, how was it?
I didn't try it yet. I haven't opened it up.
Oh, well, you have to tell us about that experience. I can't tell the difference. Like 20-year-old rubbing alcohol with food coloring, it's all about the same.
Exactly. So I've ruined like not being stored properly. You know, it might be like vinegar, but we'll.
Yeah, so tell us whenever you open it, tell us how that experience was. But thank you again for coming up to chat with us. You're always welcome. And it's great for everyone to know the other side of Brian when you're not singing. So thank you so much.
Guys, love you, my Bickersons. Take care.
Oh, yeah. Have a good night.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
That was